everyone, it's Stephanie and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm here with a review for The Mill on the Floss by George Eliot. I'm continuing my Eliot era, as my friend Dia called it. So I read this with a group of people from Kate Howe's Victorian Literature Patreon, and we liked reading together so much that we just decided we're going to continue on through all of Eliot's works that we haven't read yet. So it's going to be a good time. So what is The Mill on the Floss about? We follow Maggie Tolliver and her brother Tom, and they've both been brought up at Dorlcote Mill. I'm probably mispronouncing that. I did not listen to this on audio. And Maggie really worships her brother Tom, and she really wants to win the approval of her parents. She kind of reminds me of Anne from Anne of Green Gables, but she's not quite as whimsical or imaginative, but she does get herself into a lot of scrapes. Maggie, it just seems like she's just constantly in conflict with her family. We follow her relationship with Tom and their family members, some family friends, as Maggie and Tom grow up, and just really follow them through their childhood into adulthood. It kind of comes to a head when their expectations for her and her desire for who she loves and what she wants to do with her life clash. And she's just really torn between her relationships, especially with her brother, a close friend who is the worst enemy of her family, and this charismatic but kind of dangerous, forbidden suitor. And things just go from there. So what I thought was really interesting was that this is considered to be George Eliot's most autobiographical novel. I think a lot of it was based on her relationship with her brother. It's a really interesting portrayal of sibling relationships. I really enjoyed following Maggie and Tom, even though at times it was very tempestuous. At times it was very loving. Tom is a gigantic butt, and honestly, I really don't like him that much. He's a very frustrating character, but he's a very well-written character. He just really acts like Maggie's the bane of his existence, and everything she does just bothers him. And I don't like his form of emotional manipulation at times. Like, you wouldn't do that if you really loved me kind of thing, which I just wanted to smack him at times. And Maggie could be frustrating as well, just because it's like, oh girl, please don't do that. You know better. But she does it anyway. But she does learn her lesson. And I really enjoyed following her relationships with these three men, just trying to navigate not only becoming an adult, but her family coming to ruin and navigating through that, and her familial relationships. And some of them are really good and some of them are not really good. And seeing her just grow into herself as an adult, and seeing she was a very strong child, but seeing what a strong woman she becomes as well was just really fascinating. When I first finished this, the ending felt completely out of left field for me, and I didn't like it. It was one of those, I liked it until the very end, and then it was like, what in the world? I don't understand this. But then taking time and like reflecting on it and reading the introduction and the notes to the book, and then talking about it with the people with whom I read it, it was very fitting. And I don't want to spoil it, but I think it's one of those, like, if it threw you off guard, like me, just do a little bit more digging and just think about it. And even though, yes, it's very abrupt, but I appreciated the symbolism behind it. And I feel like this is a novel that I will appreciate more on reread because she packs so much symbolism and meaning into this book. And I didn't read the notes in the back as I was going through. I probably should have, but I just wanted to consume the story. It was really good. There were so many amazing quotes in this book. So many memorable scenes. If I'm getting the order correctly, I think Elizabeth Gaskell's Moorland Cottage was published first, and then George Eliot was inspired by that and wrote The Mill on the Floss. But I can definitely see the parallels. It's really interesting what direction that they both took with their respective works. I think this is one of those novels that you just kind of have to savor and take your time with and digest it and really think about, and just really think about it with your own life. Honestly, I thought about my relationship with my brother a lot throughout this book, and my relationship with my family a lot, and just really how lucky I am to have the family that I have and the brother that I have, because he would not be like Tom. Just saying. But yeah, just a really good reading experience. I will say, out of the 4 George Eliot books that I have read, Mill on the Floss, Adam Bede, Romola, and Middlemarch, Mill on the Floss is my least favorite, but that being said, it was still really good. So it's still high praise, even though it's at the bottom of the 4. So I definitely recommend checking it out. I don't know if I would start with The Mill on the Floss. I really think something like Adam Bede would be a better entry point, because this is a very divisive novel because of the ending. Even in our small group, we had differing opinions about the ending and what we thought. And one of us in the group was like, George Eliot and I are taking a break for a little bit, which was totally understandable. This was such a good reading experience. And I feel like every time I read a George Eliot novel, I get something new out of it. And she has just become one of my favorite, not only Victorian authors, but favorite authors of all time. And I just love her work so much. And it's work that really sticks with me. I do have to put in the work to read it at times, but it's so rewarding. And even like with this one, the ending just threw me for a loop at the end. I still got so much out of this book, and just really reflected on things on my own life and just really got so much out of it. Like, that's so repetitive, but I got so much out of it, honestly. So I definitely recommend this one. I wouldn't start with this one, but I do think it's a must read, especially if you want to read George Eliot's works. And I do look forward to rereading it in the future and seeing what I think of it, knowing what I know now. So have you read this book? If so, please let me know down below. If you'd like to leave an emoji, leave a water emoji for the Floss, the river. As always, if you like this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up and click the subscribe button down below if you'd like. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.